Good morning, students. I hope you are all safe at home. I am Brinda. You are watching EduStar Class 3 English Lesson 5 How Tubby Becomes Smaller Part 1. Let's see an introduction about the lesson. Tubby is the name of a kitten. Tubby was a very naughty kitten who lived with his family in the upper floor. Tubby was a daydreamer, which means he always thinks about extraordinary things which do not work out in real. The main hobby of him was sitting on the bench of Gulmuhar tree, which was his favorite. From there, he used to watch people and vehicles moving slowly on the busy road. Except that, he had another time pass also. That was, he always watched through the window of a lab where the famous 50-year-old Dr. Noval was working every day. Dr. Noval was in his lab sharp at 8 o'clock in the morning regularly, and he worked there till 6 in the evening. He took a lunch break at 1 o'clock on some days. He never took leave, worked even on Sundays. This naughty Tubby wanted to know what was Dr. Noval doing all the days. Why he was always busy playing with small tubes, mixing colored liquids and heating them on flames. One day, Tubby got a chance to enter into his lab. Let's see what was happened next. As usual, on that day, Tubby was watching Dr. Noval and he thought,
I wonder what Dr. Noval is doing all the time.
Dr. Noval didn't sense that the kitten was staring at him and he was busy on his work. Finally, he had achieved and said,
At last it was ready. Let me go to the town hall library for a while.
Dr. Noval went out. Tubby noticed that Dr. Noval was going out and thought to use that opportunity and whispered,
Here is a chance to go and see what Dr. Noval is up to.
He jumped to the window of the lab from the tree branch. Sitting on the window, and he encouraged himself to enter into the lab. Finally, he jumped on the table inside the lab. There he saw some test tubes, beakers, flasks which were filled with chemical liquids. He didn't know all those liquids are chemicals. He thought those were all drinks. With an excitement, he murmured,
What beautiful drinks! Shall I taste one? It must be tasty.
He drank that liquid and said,
Wow, it's very tasty indeed.
After drinking that liquid, he felt everything strange around him. Suddenly he felt all the things became very big.
What's this? Why have all the things become so huge?
He wondered. After some speculations, he found himself small like an ant.
What's this? I look so small. Oh God, save me please.
He screamed. He felt bad to get down from that table because of his size. It was dark outside. He didn't know how to go out from that lab. He stayed there for overnight. He frightened at the night and cried,
Mummy, please come and take me home. It's so dark here. I'm scared.
He spent overnight there. The next day morning, Dr. Noval came back to his lab. After seeing him, Tubby decided to seek his help. From the table, he jumped to the window screen and slided down, finally reached the floor, and went near to Dr. Noval and shouted,
Doctor, please help me.
But his low voice didn't reach Dr. Noval. He was busy with his tubes and beakers. After that, he climbed on Dr. Noval's shoe like an ant. Slowly, he moved upwards and reached the book on which Dr. Noval was writing, and thought, It took me 1.5 hours to reach here. I'm so tired, but I have to reach the table. Perhaps the doctor will see me then. While he was thinking to move towards the table, Dr. Noval noticed him and thought that was an ant and spurned him. Tubby fell down on the table near the pan in which he kept an antidote liquid which can recover Tubby. Tubby felt so thirsty, hence he wanted to drink that liquid. And he drank that liquid. After drinking that liquid, suddenly he came back to his normal size as like before he was, and said,
Thank God, I'm back to my size.
And he decided to run from there, otherwise Dr. Noval might hit him. So he jumped down from the table and ran away. While he was jumping, pushed down the beakers and test tubes which filled with chemical liquid invented by Dr. Noval. Tubby spoiled all his inventions and his hard works of all those days. Dr. Noval was shocked and got angry on the kitten. With much of anger, he said,
Where did the kitten come from? It has ruined my potion. I must bring a dog to scare the cats away.
Dr. Noval successfully completed his research, which was ready to present to the world. But the naughty Tubby spoiled everything, all his hard work. He has to restart his research from the beginning. How pity he was. Students, did you enjoy the story? Okay, now it's time to move BCS. We will see the usage of the following words: each, every, and all. Let's see wherever we have to use these words. First, each. We use each when referring to individual members of a group one at a time, which means some group of people are there. Among them, we are going to talk about only one person. In that kind of situations, we have to use a word each. For example, each student studies differently. The soldiers each received a medal. They are made for each other. We like each other. Next, every. We use every to talk about collectively things more than individually, which means not one or two. We are going to talk about the complete collection. So, such kind of situations we have to use every. For example, I read every morning. I take a break every 3 hours. Every artist is sensitive. She wanted to get away from everyone's life. Next, all. It means total. We use it to talk about the total members of things. For example, I stayed home all day instead of going to school. All men are equal. All cheetahs are fast. All children need care. He ignored her all day. Okay, students, do you understand the difference between each, every, and all? Practice today's BCS regularly in your home. Take care of yourself. Obey your parents. Okay, students, meet you in next class. Thank you, students.